Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be making some krumkake. It is a Norwegian cookie that my grandma really likes. My grandma and my grandpa came here from Norway and it is almost Christmas. So I'm gonna be making her some krumkake. I know she loves these and this will be one of her Christmas presents. So it should be interesting to be making this alone. I've never tried to make it alone, but I do have my Norwegian sweater on. Actually, this used to belong to my grandpa, and when he passed, my grandma gave it to me. And if I go back and forth between grandma and grandpa, and then sometimes I'll call them best of more and best of far, because that's Norwegian from grandma and grandpa, and that's how we kind of distinguish my dad's parents from my mom's parents. So today, it is time to make a krumkake. I have not made this. I made this 2 or 3 years ago, so it wasn't that long. My bestie helped me make the batter, and then I went over to my aunt's house, and my mom and my aunt and I were making them on the iron and then rolling them up. I do not have a proper roller, and then when I looked online, it wouldn't get here in time. So we're gonna attempt to do this. I made a cone out of thick paper, so we're gonna see if that works. And then I'm also probably gonna do some bowls and maybe just like some flat too, and kind of have a range of different shapes for these, but it should be a lot of fun. And it will be interesting to see how this goes. I funnily enough, have also recorded myself making this. I think I was in 7th grade. We had a project where we had to do, show you could do something step by step with instructions or something like that. And so I ended up making these. So I have clips from when I was way younger making this too. So I might throw some of those clips in here too, so.
There are Norwegian treats that my grandma makes that end up looking like sugar cones. I'm going to teach you how to make the batter, bake it, roll it, and make a filling for it.
We'll see how this goes, but first we need to start with the batter, so let's get started. The first thing I need to do is whisk together 3 eggs for about 30 seconds to let in some air. So we're gonna add the 3 eggs in just like that. Go up. Okay, that is looking good. Now we need to have 1 cup of sugar. Okay, and then we're gonna add that in and mix until combined. Okay, that is looking good. Okay, next up I'm going to add some melted butter that has been melted and then let to cool off until about room temperature. Okay, awesome. Oh, and that was 1 stick of melted butter. Now we are going to add in 1 cup of milk. Okay, it looks like that is coming together. So now we are going to add some vanilla and some almond extract. So I need a teaspoon of each. This also a lot of times will have cardamom in it. I could not find that anywhere for the life of me. I went to a couple stores and it was all out. So we're gonna be skipping that this time. I can't remember if my grandma ever added that. It didn't sound familiar, so I don't know if she did add that or not. So I'll have to ask her when I get down there to see what she does normally. Oh, it smells so good. And finally, we need 1.5 cups of flour and a little bit of salt. So I'm gonna actually add the salt first. And then we're gonna do the flour. And actually, I might just do it in the 1/2 cups the whole time and just add 1/2 cup at a time and then mix it in so it doesn't get overmixed and it doesn't fly up everywhere. Definitely need to scrape down the sides. Okay, time for the next one. Okay, and last one. Again, this is 2.5 cups, but I'm just using my 1/2 cup 3 times. Okay, time to scrape down the sides again. Okay, this is looking fantastic. I don't know if you can tell. It's a quite liquidy batter, but that is what we want. It is a very similar consistency to if you were making like a waffle in a waffle iron. So this is looking good. So I'm going to scrape down the sides and then throw it in the refrigerator for 1/2 hour. It needs to rest for at least a 1/2 hour in the fridge. Okay, into the refrigerator it goes. See you in a 1/2 hour. Okay, it is finally time to start cooking my krumkakes. So first I got this all preheated. I keep switching it over back and forth. They make electric ones that just close down and open up like a waffle maker, but obviously for krumkakes. But this was actually my bestie, and so I am going to be using that. It's definitely heavy though with the cast iron on the end. So let's see how this goes. usually takes a couple times to get kind of used to what you're doing. So first of all, I'm gonna get a little bit of oil on this so it doesn't stick. That's the last thing we need. And then I'm going to add a scoop of our batter that has been chilled right in the center. Ooh, it's kind of, we're gonna close that up. Ooh, that might be a little too much. See, this is why it takes a couple times to do it. And then it needs about a minute. Okay, and then let's try to take this off. I'm gonna actually flip it around to this side again. And I have two things. I have a spatula and I also have a tongs. I don't know which is gonna work better. Okay, then we're gonna flop it down there. And then we're gonna try and form it. I don't think this is done quite enough. And we're gonna get all this stuff off that's burning. Hey, Mini Magnus. My cat's yelling at me like, what are you doing? Hi. Yeah, so this one is definitely way too chewy and it's not forming right. So I need to definitely put a little bit less in and then also let it cook for longer. I think I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit too. But let's try the taste. It tastes really good. So, best part about mistakes, you can eat them. Okay, let's do this again. Let's try to get it a little bit less. And we're gonna smush it down. Just let it go. That one I think went a lot better. Let's hope. Let's flip it over. Oh gosh. They make a thing too where this little end piece can go on and it kind of lifts it up a little bit. It makes it a lot easier to turn, but I do not have one of those, sadly. Okay, better feeling about this one, although I need this. Let's see how this one turned out. Ooh, much better. It's trying to get that golden brown color. Should have put a little more oil on top. Okay, and we're gonna form it fast. And just let that sit. So that one definitely went better than the first one. Add some more batter. And look at that. Turned out much better and it definitely hardened all the way. It's not unrolling by holding it like that. I did get a big hole in the end, so hopefully I can get a little bit better with that, but this is definitely a lot better, so I'm very happy with that. Okay, jail. Jail. Had to put my kitties in jail. They were being naughty. Ooh, jeez. It's hard to tip. Okay, still needs, I think, a tiny bit of time. More over on that side. This does bring back a lot of memories of just cooking with my grandma and my aunt, my mom, so it's always fun to do these more traditional stuff. And I know my best more is gonna love this, so I'm excited to see her reaction to it. Off. And we're gonna roll it again. This time I'm gonna start back a little bit further. Okay, and then let's get another one going. This will take quite a bit of time just because there's only one of me. So let's hope it doesn't take a crazy amount of time, but since it takes about a minute per, ooh, that one I got a little too much in again. Since it takes a minute per cookie, it does take a long time to get all this made, but it will be worth it in the end, especially to see my customer's reaction. Very nice. Got another beautiful cone. This time I think I'm gonna try it on a bowl, see how those turn out. And I'm still snacking on my first dud. I don't know if you can hear that, it's making a funny noise. It almost sounds like my cat's meow when they're like, what are you doing? And put some music on and dance while I'm waiting. Get some movement in, especially because I've been making cookies all day. Ooh, yes. This is looking fantastic. Take it off, and I'm just using this cup as a little bowl. We're gonna just drop it on and kind of smush it down. It's hot to do. And there we have a little bowl. So I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna make more cones and more of these bowls and maybe a couple of flat ones so you can eat them almost like little chips. So I'll just have them like flat like this. And then once I get done, I will show you all of them and then make a little bit of a whipped cream. And I have some pomegranates and test them out to see how they taste. But I know from my little dud that they definitely taste delicious. So see you in a little bit. Okay, I am finally done. This took a while to get all done, but I am very happy with how they all look, and I'm very excited to see what my grandma's reaction will be. I think they look fantastic, but to give it a taste test, I think I'm gonna try one of these flat ones. I didn't make very many of these just because I like the cone shape way better. And I even really like these cup shapes, even though I didn't make as many. I think I made around 8 or 9 of the cups. I probably made close to 25, 30 of the cones, and then I just made 3 of these. But it did make a lot. It took a long time to do because I only had one little iron, but they look great. It smells fantastic in here, although it is getting quite warm. Let's give this a try. First, I'm gonna make a quick little whipped cream. So I'm gonna add a little bit of cream. Don't need that much, because I'm gonna make some fresh the day that we go over. I think it's gonna be probably Christmas Eve. I'm gonna get some fresh, probably strawberries and blueberries. I have some pomegranates here that I need to get used up, so that's what I'm gonna be using here. But down there, I'll probably use some strawberries and blueberries. So let's give this a try. Just making like a single serving. Don't need that much sugar, but I want it to be a little sweet. So doing that, I'm gonna just whisk it up till it turns into whipped cream. Starting to thicken a little bit, looking good. My cat is trying to climb up me. Hi, Agatha. I locked them in my bedroom while I was in here because, yeah, you kept trying to get in the way. Hi, sorry. Okay, it's time to give this a try. So, I'm gonna take, look at that. We're just gonna plop some on here. This looks incredible. I'm using the last piece too, just because it was a little wonky. I want all of them to have some nice pieces. Look at that, it's spread beautifully. Okay, and then another thing with these is you need to be very gentle because they are very thin, and so they'll break very easily. But they turned out so crispy and they look delicious. This one kind of looks like a little ornament. Okay, it's time to give this a taste test and see if it was worth the, gosh, I probably was doing that for close to 3 hours. This is very good. It's super buttery, super crispy. It has the perfect amount of sweetness, but it's not overpoweringly sweet. And this will be fantastic for the holidays, and my bestie will be very happy with it, I think. It'll remind her of back home. And this whipped cream topping with the pomegranates is delicious as well. The cream adds a nice little richness to it since the cookie is so thin, and the pomegranates add a nice brightness to it. It takes me back to other holidays where we've had this, and it's always so nice to honor family traditions. So I'm very happy with how this all turned out. Also, I did not have a wooden cone former to do it in time, so I wrapped this up and it actually worked out really good. I am going to try to get an actual wooden one, but if you don't have that, this works out fantastic. I just used a thick piece of paper and it did the job. It got a little greasy on the end, but that's okay. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.